So now, see, I love to read. I really love to read. Okay. And one of the things I do is to encourage young Africans to read. Okay. So can you please recommend 5 books for my audience to look out for and read this year?
I would say I'm trying to bring up my Audible.
Okay.
Audible has my current reading list.
Okay. See, my Audible has one 181 or 188 titles, of which I've finished at least 160.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of rereading books, so I tend to come back to a book rather than, because I'm convinced. They say that you have to see or read something 7 times before you even retain 60% of it. So I'm a huge fan of coming back to a book and digesting it again and again. But one of the books I would actually encourage people to read is one called Essentialism by Greg McKeown.
Okay.
Essentialism. Yeah.
Have
you heard of the book before?
No.
Right. So the book is, I love this book. It was the reality of not being able to do everything. Just coming to terms with the idea that in order to be successful in life, not just the concept of work, but in life, it is the sacrificing of the many for the few. What are the few things in life that hold value and things like that?
Yeah.
And the
focus.
Yes. The book really helps you to make those decisions. Very difficult decisions.
Great. I definitely get it.
Yeah, I love that book. So that's one of the key books that I'm really, really huge fan of. Another one would be Atomic Habits.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard this one by James Clear. Everyone is a fan of this book. But honestly, the reason it's such a known book is because it is great. It is the idea of bringing together habits that last a lifetime by doing small things. And he shows you how to build those habits. I would say, the book really, really helped me to put together what would be not just a focus, but to actually know how, okay, this is the kind of life I want to live. This is the kind of person I want to be.
Yeah.
Right. What habits underpin that kind of lifestyle, that kind of person. And I think people don't realize that those who are living a life that they enjoy, those who are living a life of purpose or anything like that, it was built. Like it was.
That's it.
It was a built life.
That's it.
So books like these really help us to get the framework for how we achieve that.
Okay.
So that would be my second book. And what would be my third book? Oh my goodness, this book called Influencer. This particular book is more like a case study, a book. So for those of us who want to make change in the world, this book called Influencer, it's got a few people that wrote it together, but Kerry Patterson is the main writer.
Okay.
And it's the idea of how we create change in society through behavioral changes rather than trying to change a whole person's like culture or mindset, because those things are really hard. So the book suggests, okay, in order to make change quickly, the fastest thing we should do or be looking at is actually how do we change behaviors? How do we give people things they can do? All right, that would bring about an outcome, or bring about a lifestyle. So, and they do that through case studies. So they, for example, they go to a village. I'm not quite sure where in Africa, but they went there, and one of the biggest problems that everyone was dying from the water system, and that they were drinking the water that clearly they knew wasn't good for them, but there was like no alternative. So they gave them all a kind of, it's a cloth of sorts. If you put the water through this, whatever it is that's causing the sickness would be taken out. But they found that after a couple of months, nothing had changed. They'd given them the thing that would help them, but the behavior had not been implemented.
Wow.
What people miss is that just because you have the tools for something doesn't then necessarily know how to kind of implement. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So the book shows that, okay, here are the tools, but how do we get people to find an easy way to do it so that they actually do what's good for them? Because we don't always do what's good for us.
No.
And so this book tells us, how we do that for ourselves as individuals, but also how we do it on a societal level, and how people created change. Yeah, love the book. Love it.
Okay.
So my
book
to be a game changer in society.
Okay. Next one.
Oh, you want another one?
Yes.
I think it was 3.
I want 5.
Oh, 5. Sorry.
Yes.
Let me see. Let's go for peak performance. So I hope you guys have seen the theme here, the kind of books that I'm into.
I do. I can see.
Peak performance. This one is about again the concept of how do we get the best out of ourselves, but from an athlete's perspective. Like, so you look at athletes and how they are known for how they put themselves under a particular kind of pressure to get the best out of us. But this book breaks down areas and elements that I myself at the time had not thought about. So the importance of how I sleep and things like that, and when I sleep. At the time I read this book, I was a night owl. I was convinced that that's just how I'm wired, you know. So the book made it very clear that's not how you're wired.
I hear that a lot of my daughters. That's how I am.
The book made it very clear that scientifically I am at a loss by choosing to say like this. So it's just full of science-based evidence of how we peak our own performance, you know. And the importance of sleep, the importance of routines, how we use our time in those routines and things like that. So I would definitely tell us to read that. And my final book would be Captivate. Captivate. This book is Vanessa Van Edwards. This book
is called what?
It's called Captivate.
Captivate.
By Vanessa Van Edwards.
Okay.
And this specific book is about networking. I read this book at the time that I really struggled with the concept of networking. People think because I have no problem talking, I enjoy networking. That's not true, right? I really just didn't enjoy the concept of it. But this book flipped the concept of it on its head and made it very easy for you to acquire real connection with people that you had never met until that moment. How do we start that conversation? Where do we position ourselves in the room? How do we make them the focus rather than ourselves? What can we offer them, right? That would be of value to them rather than thinking about ourselves. And then the book as well makes it so great in about understanding human beings. So she's a psychologist, so she comes from a perspective of how humans function and work.
Wow.
And so she gives you a way of even a grid of how you understand somebody's like value system, what their love language or work language is. How you would create that for all the people in your life and realize, I haven't been actually the right kind of friend to this person because this kind of person values status in life and I haven't encouraged that in them, or they value love, or they value money, because everyone thinks it's money, but everybody has a different thing. And reading the book made me realize that, this friend of mine is more about status, this friend of mine is more about this, and it means that you can encourage them or uplift them in the way that is of benefit to them, not of benefit to you. So
fantastic.
It's a fantastic book. Really fun. Those books that I've given are the books that I would say are game changers for me, that would genuinely change my mind and my life.
See, the books you just recommended to my audience are all fantastic books, and when I post this, I'll make sure the video version will have pictures of the books so that they can see those books. Amazing. And I want them to get it. At least each of them can pick 2 or 3. I will definitely get all of them. I will.
I look forward to hearing your review on them. But you're going to love them, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.